This story explores the experiences of a Moroccan living in York, England, highlighting the cultural differences between British and Moroccan societies and addressing issues of racism and discrimination. Upon starting work at the retreat hospital, the protagonist is welcomed by the nurses but feels out of place. He is soon visited by inspectors who seek his input on improving the organisation, leading to significant changes inspired by his experiences. A sympathetic inn owner supports the protagonist by waiving his rent, possibly drawing attention to his situation in the media or to social services, which may have influenced the changes at the organisation. The protagonist develops a relationship with his supervisor, who invites him to outings and her home. He feels uncomfortable in social situations, especially when cultural norms differ, such as being the only man among women or witnessing unfamiliar family dynamics. He attends weekend parties with female colleagues, observing British customs such as group dancing and open mingling between men and women. He questions these practices, learning that beneath the surface there can be hidden tensions and conflicts. The protagonist receives a heartfelt invitation from the rector of York City Church, who noticed his sense of alienation. This gesture highlights both the warmth and the sense of being an outsider due to his Arab appearance. He experiences racism from an elderly patient who calls him black-headed, but also finds acceptance and engaging discussions at the church president's home. He reflects on his own cultural identity and the differences between being Arab and Muslim. A young nurse shows special interest in the protagonist, inviting him out and to a sports club. When he learns she is married, his reaction, shaped by his own cultural values, leads to the end of their friendship. While caring for a patient, the protagonist forgets to set the wheelchair brake, causing the patient to roll into the bushes. He panics, fearing judgment due to his Arab and Muslim identity, but is relieved when the patient is unharmed. Working at the care hospital, the protagonist befriends patients, especially Professor Gerard Corner, gaining knowledge and insight. He also observes the unique personalities and behaviours of other residents, deepening his understanding of mental health. The hospital organises trips for patients, fostering a sense of community. The protagonist forms unexpected friendships, even receiving visits from patients he met on these outings, which surprises the hospital staff. The protagonist faces tension with his supervisor, who becomes hostile after a failed personal connection. Despite this, he chooses not to report the incident, focusing instead on the positive aspects of his volunteer experience. In a conversation with a nurse, the protagonist compares mental health care, poverty, and gender roles in Britain and Morocco. They discuss differences in social organisation, the status of women, and societal values. The nurse acknowledges the influence of Arab civilization on Europe, while the protagonist reflects on the inability of his own society to benefit from its heritage, expressing a sense of resignation about progress and ignorance. Upon returning to Morocco, the protagonist is struck by the chaos and noise, missing the order and quiet of England. Despite others questioning his decision to return, he feels a sense of belonging in his homeland. The protagonist recalls a painful incident of racial abuse in York, questioning the value of living in a beautiful country where he feels unwelcome. He reflects on the importance of dignity and acceptance over material comfort. He observes that relationships in England often depend on social status and wealth. Women may only accept men based on their status, and men may feel subordinate in relationships, leading to feelings of humiliation and exploitation. Invited by two sisters to their home, the protagonist hesitates, fearing he might disappoint them due to his humble status. He prefers to avoid embarrassment, highlighting the impact of cultural expectations on personal relationships. Initially mistreated by two female colleagues, the protagonist responds with kindness and respect, eventually winning their affection and overcoming their racist attitudes. He recognizes that discrimination exists in all cultures. The protagonist recalls an incident in Morocco where his grandmother refused to host his English friend, revealing that prejudice and rejection of the other are universal, not limited to any one culture. Despite cultural barriers, the protagonist maintains a friendship with his Scottish friend, visiting him in Scotland. Their shared experiences in social services and living alone bring them closer together.